Yo yo yo! What's up my people? It's your boy Asujin John, and let me tell you, today we're diving headfirst into a country with laws so wild, so out there, you'd think we were making this stuff up. But trust me folks, this is Nigeria, and in Nigeria truth is definitely stranger than fiction. We're talking about a place where some husbands could start their own boy band with all their wives, where men can say, "It's over," faster than a Tinder date gone wrong, and where some traditions are so old school they make your grandparents' love story look like a Beyoncé and Jay-Z music video. Buckle up, Buttercup, because we're about to expose the shocking secrets hidden beneath the surface of this fascinating nation. Get ready to have your minds blown wider than a Nigerian wedding party with 10 wives and matching outfits. You thought you knew culture shock? You ain't seen nothing yet. Alright fam, let's kick things off with a bang, or maybe I should say a wedding march times 4. That's right, we're talking about polygamy, baby. In many parts of Nigeria, especially where my Muslim brothers and sisters reside, having multiple wives isn't just accepted, it's practically written into the law, like a verse in the Quran. Now, before you go thinking it's all a free-for-all love fest, there's a catch. And no, it's not just finding enough matching outfits for all the wives, although I'm sure that's a challenge in itself. According to Nigerian law, if you want to collect wives like they're infinity stones, you better have Thanos-level wealth because you've got to provide for each and every one of them. Think about it guys, that's a lot of birthdays, anniversaries, and let's not forget, Mother's Day gifts. It's like running a small corporation, except instead of employees, you've got wives. And let me tell you, those board meetings probably get pretty interesting, but hey, who am I to judge? If a man can juggle multiple wives, a house full of kids, and still remember everyone's name on his birthday, more power to him. It takes a special kind of man. Or maybe just a very, very organized calendar. Now I know what you're thinking, Trevor, this sounds crazy. What about the women? And you know what? It's a valid question. While some women might embrace this tradition, others might feel like they're getting the short end of the stick. It's a complex issue with no easy answers, but one thing's for sure. Polygamy in Nigeria is a tradition that's deeply woven into the fabric of society. So, next time you hear someone complaining about their in-laws, just remember, it could be a whole lot worse. You could be celebrating Eid with 3 other wives and enough children to start your own soccer team. Now that's what I call a full house. Hold on to your Jollof rice, folks, because we're about to dive into the wild world of Nigerian divorce where the scales of justice seem a little lopsided. You see, in Nigeria, men have this magical ability to end a marriage faster than you can say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. No, seriously, they don't even need a reason. It's like a get-out-of-jail-free card, but for marriage. Meanwhile, Nigerian women, well, let's just say they have to jump through more hoops than a circus poodle to get a divorce. We're talking presenting evidence, proving wrongdoing, basically writing a dissertation on why their marriage deserves a failing grade. It's like the legal system decided to play favorites, and guess who got picked last for dodgeball? Now, I know what you're thinking. Trevor, this sounds about as fair as a rigged game of Ludo. And you know what? You're absolutely right. This law highlights the stark reality of gender inequality that still persists in many parts of Nigerian society. It's 2023, people. Can we please stop acting like marriage is some kind of hostage situation where only men have the power to unlock the cell door? Women deserve the same rights and respect as men, both inside and outside the confines of marriage. This isn't just about signing papers, this is about agency, autonomy, and the fundamental right to choose your own destiny. And trust me, when it comes to something as life-altering as marriage, everyone deserves the right to say I don't, with the same ease and freedom as they said I do. So, Nigeria, it's time to level the playing field and rewrite the rules of divorce. Let's make it fair, let's make it equal, and let's stop treating women like they need permission slips to live their best lives. Alright folks, it's time to address the elephant in the room, or in this case, the very dark and disturbing practice that still casts a shadow over parts of Nigeria: honor killing. Now before you go thinking this is some ancient history lesson, let me assure you this archaic tradition is sadly alive and well in certain corners of the country. Imagine this. A family, bound by cultural norms and twisted interpretations of honor, decides to take the law into their own hands. Their reason? Someone, usually a woman, has brought shame upon their family name. And what constitutes shame, you ask? Well, it could be anything from refusing an arranged marriage to, God forbid, falling in love with the wrong person. Now I don't know about you, but that sounds less like honor and more like a terrifying control trip disguised as tradition. The worst part, these so-called honor killings often walk a terrifyingly thin line between tradition and the actual law. While murder is illegal in Nigeria, the enforcement of these laws can be murky at best when it comes to these honor-based crimes. This means families who commit these atrocities often operate with a chilling sense of impunity, believing they are somehow above the law, upholding some twisted sense of tradition. But let's call this what it really is: murder, plain and simple. Taking a life in the name of honor is not only barbaric, it's a cowardly act that deserves swift and absolute justice. No one, and I mean no one, has the right to decide another person's fate, especially not based on some outdated and frankly misogynistic concept of honor. Nigeria, it's time to drag this horrific practice kicking and screaming into the light of day. Educate your communities, strengthen your laws, and send a clear message: honor killing is not and will never be acceptable. It's time to break the cycle of violence and empower individuals to live free from fear and oppression. Chapter 4. Veiled Controversies. The Hijab Debate. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to step into a debate that's as complex and multi-layered as a traditional Nigerian gele, the hijab. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with this beautiful headscarf, it's a powerful symbol of modesty, faith, and identity for many Muslim women around the world. But in northern Nigeria, where Islam is the dominant religion, the hijab isn't just a choice, it's the law. That's right, ladies, if you're caught out in public without your head covered, you could be facing some serious consequences. Now, on the surface, this might seem like a simple matter of religious freedom, right? But like most things in life, it's not that straightforward. You see, while some women welcome this law as a way to express their faith openly and proudly, others feel like their right to choose has been snatched away. Imagine being told what to wear, not by your mama, not by your grandma, but by the government. It's enough to make anyone want to start their own fashion protest. And that's exactly what many Nigerian women are doing, fighting tooth and nail for the right to control their own bodies and express their personal beliefs without fear or coercion. This debate isn't just about fabric and style, it's about autonomy, identity, and the fundamental right to choose how you present yourself to the world. It's about whether a woman's place in society is defined by what's on her head, or by the content of her character. So Nigeria, as you grapple with this complex issue, remember this: true freedom lies in the power of choice. Let women choose how they want to express their faith, let them choose how they want to dress, and let their voices be heard loud and clear, hijab or no hijab. Chapter 5, Black Gold, Child Labor, the Dark Side of Oil. Get ready to be outraged, folks, because we're about to expose a truth that's as dirty as an oil-spilled child labor in Nigeria's oil industry. Now, we all know Nigeria is practically swimming in oil, right? It's like the Beyonce of Africa, rich, powerful, and dripping in black gold. But behind this glittering facade lies a dark and disturbing reality. While the Nigerian government might have fancy laws in place to protect children, the reality on the ground is a different story. In some parts of the Niger Delta, where the oil flows freely, so do exploitation and injustice. Imagine this: children, some as young as 8 years old, forced to abandon their childhoods and work in dangerous and grueling conditions. We're talking backbreaking labor, exposure to toxic chemicals, and all for a pittance that wouldn't even buy a decent plate of jollof rice. It's a modern-day tragedy, a stain on the conscience of Nigeria and the world. These children are robbed of their education, their health, and their very childhoods, all in the name of profit. And the worst part? It's all happening under the noses of those who have the power to stop it. This isn't just about weak enforcement of laws, it's about greed, corruption, and a blatant disregard for the most vulnerable members of society. It's time to shine a light on this injustice, to hold those responsible accountable, and to demand better for Nigeria's children. The future of Nigeria lies not in its oil reserves, but in its people, and that future is being stolen away one child laborer at a time. It's time to break the chains of exploitation, empower communities, and invest in a future where every child has the opportunity to reach their full potential. Chapter 6. Fashion Police? Nigeria's luxury tax on men. Alright gentlemen, listen up. Ever dreamt of strutting down the streets of Lagos looking like $1,000,000 naira? Well, get ready to pay for the privilege, because in some parts of Nigeria, flaunting your wealth could cost you a pretty penny. That's right, we're talking about a luxury tax on men, and no, this isn't a joke. Apparently, in certain regions of Nigeria, rocking a designer suit, flashing a gold watch, or basically looking like you just stepped out of a GQ magazine is considered a big no-no. It's like the fashion police are always watching, ready to slap you with a fine for daring to look too fly. Now I know what you're thinking. Trevor, this sounds crazy. Since when did looking good become a crime? And you know what? I'm right there with you. It's like they're trying to stifle individual expression in the name of modesty. But hey, maybe there's a method to this madness. Perhaps this luxury tax is just Nigeria's way of promoting humility and discouraging extravagant displays of wealth. Or maybe it's just a way for the government to make a quick buck off of people who can afford it. Who knows? Whatever the reason, one thing's for sure. This unusual law definitely adds a unique twist to the concept of fashion faux pas. So, next time you're packing for your trip to Nigeria, fellas, maybe leave that flashy Rolex at home and opt for a more understated timepiece. Unless, of course, you're feeling extra generous and want to contribute to the Nigerian economy. In that case, go ahead, shine bright like a diamond. Chapter 7. Land Rights and Gender, a Nigerian Paradox. Hold on to your land titles, folks, because we're about to navigate the complex and often contradictory world of land ownership for women in Nigeria. Now, on paper, it might seem like women have the right to inherit and own land just like men. But as we all know, reality has a funny way of throwing shade at even the most well-intentioned laws. In many parts of Nigeria, especially in rural and more traditional communities, cultural norms and patriarchal practices have a way of sidelining women when it comes to land ownership. Imagine this. A woman inherits land from her father, but before she can even think about planting a garden or building a dream home, she needs permission from, wait for it, a male relative. That's right, folks. It's like the land itself comes with a built-in patriarchy clause. Need to sell the land? Get a man's approval. Want to use the land as collateral for a loan? Better find yourself a male guarantor. It's enough to make you wonder if women are inheriting land or just inheriting a whole lot of red tape. This unequal access to land isn't just about soil and property lines, it's about economic empowerment, social standing, and the fundamental right to control one's own destiny. When women are denied access to land, they are denied access to opportunity, to security, and to a level playing field. So, Nigeria, it's time to bridge the gap between legal rights and cultural practices, empower women, secure their land rights, and watch as they cultivate a brighter future for themselves, their families, and their communities. Fasten your seatbelts, folks, because we're about to enter a world where ancient traditions collide head-on with modern medicine rural Nigeria. Now, we all know Nigeria is a land of contrasts, right? You've got bustling megacities with skyscrapers and state-of-the-art hospitals, and then you've got remote villages where time seems to stand still. And in some of these villages, the belief in traditional healing practices passed down through generations still holds more sway than a scientific journal. We're talking about a world where witch doctors are consulted for everything from the common cold to more serious ailments, where herbal remedies are the go-to cure, and where superstitions often trump evidence-based medicine. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm all for respecting traditional knowledge and practices, but when it comes to healthcare, there's a fine line between cultural sensitivity and potentially putting lives at risk. Imagine this. A child falls ill with a treatable infection, but instead of seeking medical attention, the family consults a traditional healer. Precious time is lost, the infection worsens, and the outcome could be, well, let's just say it's not good. This isn't about demonizing traditional healers, it's about recognizing the limitations of certain practices and understanding the importance of modern medicine, especially when it comes to life-threatening situations. Nigeria needs to find a way to bridge the gap between traditional beliefs and modern healthcare, to educate communities, and to ensure that everyone has access to quality, evidence-based medical care. It's about time to dispel the myths, to embrace the advancements of modern medicine, and to ensure that every Nigerian, regardless of where they live, has the opportunity to live a long, healthy, and superstition-free life. Get ready for a love story Nigerian style, because we're about to delve into the complicated and often heartbreaking world of intertribal relationships. Now, we all know Nigeria is a melting pot of cultures, languages, and traditions, right? It's like a giant festival of diversity with something for everyone. But when it comes to love and marriage, some parts of Nigeria seem to have missed the memo about unity and togetherness. In certain regions, falling in love with someone from a different tribe isn't just frowned upon, it's practically a taboo, a recipe for disaster, a one-way ticket to Heartbreak Hotel. Imagine this. Two young lovers from different tribes, their hearts beating for each other like a talking drum. But their families? Not so thrilled. In fact, they're downright opposed to the union, citing ancient rivalries, cultural differences, and basically every excuse in the book to keep these lovebirds apart. It's like Romeo and Juliet. But instead of feuding families, it's feuding tribes. And instead of poison and daggers, it's social ostracism and the constant threat of violence. Talk about a buzzkill. This isn't just about ancient grudges and tribal pride, it's about restricting individual freedom, denying people the right to love whomever they choose, and perpetuating divisions in a country that desperately needs to heal old wounds. Nigeria, it's time to let love conquer all, to break down the walls of tribalism, and to recognize that true unity comes from embracing our differences, not from fearing them. Alright folks, it's time to talk about the real MVPs, the true superheroes of Nigeria, the women. Now, we've spent this whole video exploring the wild, wacky, and sometimes downright unjust laws that govern this fascinating country. And if there's one common thread that runs through many of these laws, it's the struggle for gender equality. From marriage and divorce to land rights and inheritance, Nigerian women are often on the back foot, fighting tooth and nail for the same rights and opportunities as their male counterparts. Imagine this, a woman educated, ambitious, and ready to take on the world. But she keeps hitting invisible barriers, glass ceilings disguised as cultural norms and patriarchal practices. She's told she can't inherit land, she can't sign a contract without her husband's permission, and she can't even get a divorce without jumping through a million hoops. It's like Nigerian society is stuck in a time warp, where women are relegated to the sidelines while men call all the shots. But the times, they are a-changin'. Nigerian women are done with playing second fiddle. They're demanding more, raising their voices, and fighting for a future where their daughters can inherit more than just their mother's resilience. This isn't just about women's rights, it's about human rights. It's about recognizing the power and potential of half the population and creating a society where everyone has an equal opportunity to thrive. So Nigeria, listen up, empower your women, invest in their education, and watch as they transform your nation into a beacon of progress and equality. Well folks, there you have it. A sneak peek into the wild, wonderful, and sometimes downright unbelievable world of Nigerian laws. We've laughed, we've gasped, we've maybe even spilled a little jollof rice in shock. But most importantly, we've learned something new, expanded our horizons, and hopefully, gained a deeper understanding of this complex and fascinating country. But our journey doesn't end here, my friends. There's a whole world out there full of shocking secrets, hidden truths, and mind-blowing customs just waiting to be uncovered. And trust me, I'm just getting started. So if you don't want to miss out on the next cultural roller coaster, hit that subscribe button like your life depends on it. Because trust me, you don't want to be that person who's left wondering what everyone's talking about. Stay curious, stay informed, and I'll catch you in the next video. If you don't like and subscribe right now, you'll miss out on the most shocking secrets from around the world. Truths that most people will never hear about. Trust me, the next video might just blow your mind even more. And if you're not here for it, you'll be left wondering what everyone else is talking about. Subscribe now.